let's talk about Izzy and have you ever fallen in love?
I hope he never sees this clip because I'm terrified.
But lately you've been posting some, I said thirst traps, you know, because you're still young.
And it really all started when I had my first match against Effie. I was looking at pictures of my prom. I can't imagine me, like, there.
I'm trying to make it different from the other one. I promise I'll make a better intro later. This is the intro for the Taco Blog. ThunderRosa eating tacos.
Hey everybody, welcome to this taco blog. I don't even have words to describe what this girl means to me. She is super hardworking, a go-getter. It's so funny because before I introduce, there was a story. Somebody told me they got to know you. You're like, oh my god, she is such like they really believe you're a gimmick. And I was like, oh, you don't know her because this girl is the total opposite. Yes. So she's been in the wrestling business for I will have to say a decade or so. She was a child when she first started getting involved in professional wrestling, and now she's wrestling. She made big waves this weekend. She probably made good ass money in WrestleCon. She is still MPW Women's Champ, and she is an example of someone who has grit and dedication and consistency in this business, and that is Izzy Moreno.
That was the best intro.
Oh my god, that was the longest intro ever.
I can't be crying on the ThunderRosa.
Yes, you can. I'm not gonna make people cry. So yeah, all the
you
time.
make me cry all the time. So.
I don't make you cry all the time, but I know you're hungry and
so
you've been having too much fun in Vegas. Is this your first time in Vegas?
No, this is my second time.
What was the first time?
First time was 2022, I believe. Or 2021. Yeah, 2021. I was here for a relaunch of a wrestling company that I used to work for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was a social media manager, and so I was here for the relaunch, and I was staying on Fremont Street, which was, like, the worst thing possible.
For a child, yes.
Yeah. And I actually snuck into a 21 and up hotel to complete my job and my duties, and so, yeah. That was my first time in Vegas, and I hated it. This year, I don't mind it.
Why? Because you're old now?
Yeah, I'm older. We've been having fun.
She's been having too much fun. I'm just gonna say that, and for that, she's hungry.
Yes,
so I'm
the taco. I'm dehydrated.
So I have this I think it's our al pastor or chicken. I don't know, but you can grab any. Oh no, these are chicken. This is chicken.
I don't know what this is, but it tastes delicious.
And then we have the chips.
That's an egg back over here.
And carne asada. So,
do I just pick?
Yeah, you can pick
How
whatever
does this
you want.
go? Do we have sauces?
No, there's sauces here.
Oh.
Nile, it's like white people don't like hot sauce.
That's mild. Okay. Yes.
We got all kinds of stuff. So.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Do we just dig into this?
Yeah, just dig in. I'm gonna
just
carne asada.
Debrief about like.
No, well, I'm gonna start from. I'm gonna start from the beginning.
Uh-oh.
Who is Izzy Moreno, and why did you decide to ever get involved in professional wrestling?
Yeah, so Izzy Moreno is basically super fit. Can I have a napkin real quick? I can't reach. I have short arms. I'm sorry.
She's little.
I'm little. So. Izzy Moreno is basically a super fan. She is an extension of me, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I know you said, like, my character and me are, like, total opposites, but really they aren't. Like, okay, like...
That's so good.
That's good.
Wow.
Shoot, that's good. I would say Izzy Moreno is me just turns up to, like, 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so, a lot of people know me as, like, a super fan.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. And so when I was coming out, my character was like, I don't want to come off as like something that I'm not, or something that people won't recognize me as, like some sexy vixen or like some cool rock chick. Like I'm like, I don't want that. Like,
well,
not that like there's anything that I was like considering that, but like, you know what I mean?
But lately you've been posting some. I mean, I want to say thirst traps, because you're still young. And I don't want to see it like, ew, Izzy, what the fuck? But you're not.
I'm growing up.
Yeah.
And, like. That's the thing about being young and growing up in the public eye, is people are like, they don't understand like the change, and like, I can't always post like, the same pictures of me like you know what I mean? Like, And, you know, just trying to impress some people, you know.
Okay.
No, but, yeah, no. But I just, like, what was the other half of the question? You were like, who's Izzy Moreno and why?
And why did you even start getting involved in this crazy business?
I just grew up watching. And then, like, you know, obviously, you know, like, I got involved with, like, NXT storylines and stuff. And then that was kind of, like, the moment that I was like, I want to do this. And my parents said to me, they were like, listen, like, we're all for it, but if you're going to do it, you have to go, like, full speed at it. And so I was like, okay.
But they're so important in your career, because, like, even before we started the Taco They Can, your mom and dad were here with you. They moved, like, across the country. They're, like, literally have been so important in your career.
They have.
So who was the one, was your mom or your dad that actually was the one who was like, let's watch wrestling together?
I would say, I think it was both of them, but my dad was the bigger fan growing up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I know what happened. Can I find it? I got it. I found it.
It was so big.
These are
It was
fucking
good.
amazing.
It was good. The price.
Was it?
Yeah, they were like $19. No, $16.99 for 5 tacos.
This is good. My dad was definitely the bigger fan growing up. But I think they just randomly put it on one night. And I was like, what is this? And they're like, it's wrestling. Like, you can't do this, like, at school. And then my first question was, like, why are they wrestling in underwear? And they were like, what? Later I found out that was trunks. But, you know, I was hooked on right away. And then we started to go to shows, actually. We started to go to FCW, which is NXT before NXT.
Well,
It was literally right near my house, like, literally 5 minutes away. So we started to go, and then that was the chain of events into this crazy where we are today.
because you became a super baby fan. Let's talk about that moment. Because I remember seeing your face when you were little, and it was when they were like her and Mercedes Monet, aka Sasha Banks, were feuding, and you became viral, right?
Yeah. No, that happened supernaturally. I know a lot of people think it was like I was a plant. I think people still do, honestly. But like, literally, the way it started, I went to an NXT house show. I had Paige merch on, or Soraya. And I was standing by the guardrail, and Bailey took a picture of me, like, from behind, and she posted on Twitter and was like, this is why I love what I do. And, like, some random, like, fan came up to me after and was like, hey, like, one of the wrestlers posted this. I was like, oh my god. And when she came out, I was like, she gave me the headband, because at the time she was doing the whole, like, giving the headband to a kid, and I was like, this is my girl. And so, ever since then, I was like, her merch, I was like, I need everything that she has that they sell her. And I started to dress up as her, and then, like, you know, that's by that time they were at Full Sail, and people were like, who's this little girl dressed up as Bailey? And it just turned into, like, what it was, which is so weird to say.
The Bailey fan. And then you became, yeah, because how has that been difficult for you to, like, break away?
It honestly has, because, like, I know I say that, and people are going to be like, well, your character is a super fan, and you're trying to break away. I mean that in, like, a behind-the-scenes way. Like, yes, I'll use it to my strength, but I've always gotten the whole, like, oh, you've only got famous getting right on TV. And when you look at it, okay, yeah, like, they have a point, but I always use it as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Because after that stuff at NXT TakeOver Respect happened, I could have just been like, okay, cool, like, that was awesome, like, moving on with my life, I'll just go to college, just be a normal person. But I was like, no, like, I actually am interested in this, and, like,
let me struggle for the rest of my life. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's create all the trauma for me, like, that I can, and make this happen, okay? Let me, like, get a good therapist and make this happen. I don't know what is spicy, but it's like, listen, guys, I'm white, so I cannot handle spice.
I don't eat spicy stuff anymore, and I got the spiciest one. And you know, these tacos are good. But yeah, I mean, I met you as the baby fan back in the day. I didn't meet you, but I saw you on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I met you. What was that?
Like, I'm like obsessed with steak, so
okay,
I'm gonna eat all of these.
Yeah, so then I don't know if you interviewed me.
I know I interviewed you.
Yeah.
But I forgot how we got to know each other. It's probably through social media.
Probably. And then at a point, I know Brian was like a big fan, and he was like, we need to get her before she gets too famous. And I was like, I got you. And then we had our working relationship, and now we're here. But
Yes.
the whole journey, how did people used to make fun of you in school?
I remember there was like one kid specifically, but it wasn't like, I didn't talk about it a whole lot. Like, honestly, it wasn't as like judged as what people think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had one kid that was like, oh, that's fake. And I remember I was like, but then like now I'm like, but I remember in high school, like everybody thought it was like the coolest thing ever.
In high school?
Yeah, in high school, people were like, oh my God, like, and my dad worked at my school, so I think that kind of helped because everybody loved my dad in school. And then, like, I don't know, like, I think it was just, like, cool to, like, that somebody. And then I think, honestly, what helped is how many followers I have on social media. Because kids would be like, oh, can I get your Instagram? And, like, I wouldn't say anything. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh,
I'm kind of famous.
Get ready for how many followers I have. I gave them my Instagram. They're like, oh, my gosh, you have this many. And for me, it worked when I was, like, trying to impress boys. So, like, now I'm past that stuff. But, yeah.
How was to be in school and be a full-time, no, not a full-time wrestler, when you were doing like influencing work. So let's talk about that before
Like
we
the
talk
media
about
stuff? Yeah.
anything. You were everywhere.
It was hard sometimes, but I took high school credit classes in middle school, so I didn't have to take a lot of, I know. But when I was doing that, I wasn't doing much in wrestling.
Okay.
Well, it was like no harm, no foul. When I got to high school, I didn't have like a lot of like big classes. Plus, to be honest, I was not the brightest crayon in the box, so I wasn't taking like calculus or like pre-algebra, like pre-college algebra. Like, I wasn't taking any of that stuff. And my dad knew a lot of like the ins and outs of like what I actually need to graduate. So he was like, you don't need to take chemistry. And all my friends were taking chemistry, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so hard.
It's so hard.
They were like, the homework is insane. And I'm like, oh, I'm not taking that. I was like, knock yourself out. Like, making, like, potions and stuff. Like, go ahead.
And you're taking, like, also college credits, right?
That's been the hardest. Like, I don't know. I hate college.
Why? College is so much fun.
No, I don't know. Like,
I love college. I was
my
like,
classes are not fun. I'm going.
oh, because you're going online too. It's like she's not a regular kid. Oh, well, I got some eating shit. I have like lipstick in here.
Let me see. Wait, hold on. I got you.
I'm enjoying my tacos.
It's okay.
I'm so hungry. I didn't have breakfast today, so I was doing busted open party this morning. But I mean, you're not a normal kid.
I'm not, and we're okay with that. At first, I struggled with it. I always said to my parents, like, I just want to be a normal kid. And they're like, we don't even know what that means. And I'm like, I don't know either, but I just want to be a normal kid. And I quickly got over that because I was just like, I'm not a normal kid. And that's, like, way fine.
I mean, you're 17. You have pretty much traveled all over the fucking country at this point.
Yeah.
You know some of the most famous fucking individuals in professional wrestling. You have paved the way for yourself, and you're just getting started.
Yeah.
You know? So,
thank you.
How is it for you as not the wrestler but the girl? Like you were saying, you were struggling because you wanted to be a normal girl. Like what are the things that you wish you could do but you can't because of what this crazy world is?
Honestly, nothing. Like there's nothing like specifically like because I really do enjoy my life, and I like honestly I can't think of like what I would do without wrestling. Like, I honestly, like, I'm like, what can I do? Like, there's days where I'm like, if I didn't have training, what would I be doing with my life? Like,
probably TikToks.
But yeah, probably. Like, I'd be filming TikToks. I'd still be in high school because I graduated early. And I was looking at pictures of my prom, or what was supposed to be, like, my prom this year. And I was like, I can't imagine me, like, there. Like,
did you ever have any issues with your classmates because you were a little bit too mature for them, or like did you feel like you had a hard time connecting?
Yes, I didn't have a lot of friends in high school. I don't want that. I don't mean that like oh my gosh. No, like literally, I was close with like kids in my dad's class. Like there's one I'm still super close with, and then one friend that I like my old best friend. Like we kind of like grew out of each other because I was like. I was about to graduate. She was staying another year, and I was like, I'm just so mature and like, and then I have like my best friend. She's actually an influencer.
Yes,
Her name's Victoria Daisy. She's absolutely incredible, And we are like the exact carbon copies of each other. Like, we love wrestling, we love Taylor Swift, we love sports. Like, we like exact carbon copy. And she's so mature too. And we talk about this too, like how like we're not close with certain people because they're just not mature. And like honestly, it makes sense why I'm not like I don't have a whole lot of friends is because I'm so mature. And I don't have a lot of friends that are my age. Like, a lot of like the people I hang out with or like talk to are older, as you know.
She does. I don't approve. I don't approve. Especially if you're male wrestlers. I don't approve.
Stop!
No male wrestlers. You hear me? If I hear you do something to my little girl, I will mess you up. It's not a threat, it's a promise. But
I'm listening up to him and he's gonna be like,
but, well, let's talk about Izzy and have you ever fallen in love? I mean, it's a thing. I mean, when I was your age, I would fall in love every 5 minutes. And I had like 3 boyfriends and
drink.
Well, yeah, she needs a drink, but yeah, I mean, it's a very normal thing for like girls your age to be in love and have boyfriends or whatever. Did you had a boyfriend before you were 17?
Yes, actually.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, nobody knows about this, by the way. Well, like, people know, but not, like, publicly. I'm having some shit.
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Because this is making me nervous now.
Oh, wow.
Where's the guac? Sorry.
She's so white, she said the walk.
Where's the guac? I was dating somebody who was...
Was that your first love?
Yes, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. He's, like, somewhat involved in wrestling. And so, yeah, we met. And, oh, God. I'm, like, so nervous.
You don't have to say everything. You just, like, give me the cliff notes.
Yeah, he wanted to give me, like, a promise ring, like, 1 month into dating. And I was like, I'm not ready for that. And he was like, okay. And he asked me again, and I was like, I told you I'm not ready for that. And that just led to that downfall. And so, you know. Okay. A lot of people, like, don't realize, like, I was performing with, like, the biggest broken heart. When I won the title, I was, like, so heartbroken.
Really?
Yes. Like, I'm trying to think what else. There were so many times, like, I was going through it. And I had matches, and I was like, oh, get it together. And then he would go to my shows, too. Like, when we were broken up.
Wow. What an ass. I'm just gonna say.
I wish him the best, though.
If you're like 15, 16, 17, and you're asking somebody to get married, you don't know how to wipe your ass yet. Knock it off. Go and enjoy life. Have some fun.
I was just appalled. I was like...
No, it's just people are very serious. Like,
this was like right when I made my debut, too, and I was like, what? I was like, absolutely not.
You were like, what, 15, no?
16.
16.
And I was like, at first I was like, oh. And I was like, wait, what? I hope he never sees this clip because I'm terrified.
He's gonna clip it. That was me. That was the ex-boyfriend. Fuck that girl. But hey, it's normal. You're 17. You're enjoying life. You're like meeting guys and I mean you're an attractive young girl and you know what you want and you're very secure of yourself and I feel like that's a good thing.
It's so important to be like that. Like my parents talk about it all the time. Like, you know, having confidence in yourself and knowing what you want to. Because I don't want to, like, fall for, like, any guy. Like, I want somebody that, like, lifts me up. And I know the whole thing is, like, oh, you shouldn't date in wrestling. But it's, like, we're all professionals here. I was a professional. I had to train with my ex-boyfriend. And it was difficult. But we're all professionals. And you deal with it. And you say, you know what? Whatever.
I'm just saying once you start getting
I'm really dropping some tea on this.
I am just saying once you start getting older and things don't go the way that you want, some guys are not very professional. So
obviously.
FYI, this can happen. I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
They break up and then they start spilling the tea about like, you know, things that you do in bed and like text messages, pictures, you know, it happens. It has happened before. And I mean, I'm not trying to scare you, but I am trying to scare you. Just stay away from like anybody in the business unless you really trust them and your parents put the stamp on that guy.
Oh.
We can move on from like relationships because that's a very interesting subject for this young lady. Let's move on to what are the things that you like to do?
Like outside of wrestling?
Yes. I know that you love Taylor Swift.
Like, she's literally the only artist I listen to. 24/7.
Why? I mean, she's cool, but like,
No,
do you listen to her all the time? That's
Yeah,
not too much.
no, I really do. This week, not so much because I made a Mania like weekend hype playlist.
Who was in it?
I had some Taylor songs on
Of course.
I had Lady Gaga.
Which one?
I had Poker Face. I don't know. No, I think it was just Poker Face. You know what? I learned the Bad Romance and Judas Dance.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. After I saw her Coachella performance, I was like,
that was hot.
bro, she's insane. I was like, I'm in love with her. I was like, oh my gosh.
Mother Monster.
Mother Monster.
I love you. She is Mother Monster.
I was gagged the entire time. I was like,
No, it's incredible. Like that.
mm-hmm.
It's not only like that. The fact that she's able to put these performances, like all the things that, and it reminds me like a lot of what we've been through is like all the shit that she had to eat before she was like semi-famous, and even when she was like on the cusp of being famous, like how screwed she got by like a producer and the way that she now speaks about it, and like she creates art to like let all that trauma come out, which I feel like a lot of the times we do that with professional wrestling when we're in the ring, when we're like you were mentioning that you were heartbroken, and you have to pour all your pain in the ring.
Tell me about it, because my comebacks when he was at my shows were insane. Like, talk about a fire up.
She was like looking at him as she's like clotheslining some bitch. Fuck you!
I actually did give him a couple of those. No, but we did that with our feud.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the stuff that we've been through together. Not together, but like our own like experiences, and then like trying to like put it into like our storyline.
Yeah.
I thought we did that so good, and like honestly, it helped me with like my promos, and like I even got to like put in like little like Easter eggs of like stuff that happened to me, like into our promos and like into our matches and stuff. So
yeah, that was very interesting because we both talk about this all the time, in where how, because of our backgrounds, or because how eager, or because of how passionate we are about professional wrestling, people take that in the wrong way. And,
They do.
And they have, like, I know that many people for a couple years, like, there was a lot of back and forth with some people online.
Yeah.
With you and your parents and stuff, and like, and you were misunderstood. And I feel like the main thing with you, with people that don't understand who you are, or they criticize you, is they don't understand you and your motives of why you're doing what you're doing.
yeah, and I was okay. Like, I struggled with it at first, especially when I was younger.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I was young. I didn't like, my brain was still developing. I was 10 at the time. And it really all started when I had my first match against. And a clip of me taking a chokeslam got posted to social media.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh my God, what is this? And I was like, I always thought training at a young age was like this honorable thing. Like, oh my gosh, like you're chasing your dream at a young age. And like so many people have done it before. So I was like, why is this just me receiving backlash? And it was specifically hard when it came from like people that like I trained with, like people who prepared me for that match, people who like I watched on TV, or most importantly, like people I had zero association with, or like people I'm like, I've never met you in my life, and why are you writing about me? Like, what have I done to you? And those people carried it on for years, and I never understood, like, okay, how did we go from like point A to point like F? Like I just couldn't understand like why it escalated so quickly. And looking back, like, yeah, like some stuff could have been handled differently. Like I'll always say that, like, man, I wish I didn't do this, or man, like I shouldn't like have done this, but like at the same time, I'm proud of like those like situations, like especially the backlash I received or criticism, just because it's made me the woman I am today.
Yeah.
Because then I received a lot of, I got canceled, I should say, like in 2021, and I remember like that wrecked me, and I was like, I thought I was done like with professional wrestling. I was like, I'm done. I was like, every time I come near this thing, I get burnt. And I was like, I don't understand why I do. I was like, this is the thing I love. Like, I shouldn't, like, be feeling this way. Like, I shouldn't feel like, oh, I don't belong in this industry because people like, famous wrestlers were telling me. Like, you don't have, like, a kid in, like, the park and LeBron James is telling him, you shouldn't be playing basketball. Like, that's not how this works. And so, and then at the same time, it was always hard when I would see, like, other people train and get opportunities. And I'm like, well, why aren't they, like, receiving criticism either? But, like, I moved on from it, and I've grown from it, and healthy things grow, so that's why I'm very grateful for those times, because I'm like, okay, like, today, like, the woman I am today, I'm so proud of, and I, like, honestly, like, I've never been happier, like, right in this moment. In this moment, because I'm very happy eating tacos with ThunderRosa. I have this amazing block.
She just ate, that's what she said.
Mm-hmm. But, no, seriously, I've never been happier. Like, I turned 18 in 2 weeks.
Oh, she's pumped. She's ready.
For multiple reasons.
Oh, I know.
No, the reason is because I'm eligible to get signed. That's
yes, no, that's what I said. I know that.
No, not because of other reasons.
So we were talking about this weekend, and we mentioned briefly that you
were doing it week or weekend.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's been since Tuesday, so it's a fucking week.
So yeah, WrestleMania week.
So what were you doing here?
Yeah, so I actually had to fly in earlier than I thought I had to, because I was a part of the GCW and WWE ID showcase show, which was so much fun. If I won my match, I was in the ID championship tournament, which I did not win my match. Zeta Steel and Swipe Right and Jackson Drake cost me the match. So, and you know, a little sad over here. But no, that was freaking awesome. To work with like all the ID people, like there was another guy who was on the show that wasn't ID, Atticus Kogar. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Am I saying it right?
Atticus, yeah.
Yeah,
Atticus. You know Atticus.
I met him for the first time. He's wonderful. But me and him were the only people that weren't ID'd on the show. And so I was like, honestly, I was a little nervous. I was like, okay. It felt like going into like the first day of school. I was like, okay, I'm like the new kid. I was like, how am I going to be treated? Everyone was so wonderful. And I don't want that to come off as like, oh, I was surprised that like people, like the ID people were nice because I've heard that they're mean. No. They were so nice to me. They were so welcoming. Like everyone in the locker room was awesome. But yeah, I had that Wednesday, and then Thursday I signed at WrestleCon. WrestleCon's always like
fun.
Yeah, you know, it's WrestleCon. And then yesterday, I had 2 back-to-back matches at the FSW Arena. My first one was with Poder Mania. I just found out I've been saying it wrong this entire time. I've been saying Potter Mania.
Poder Mania.
Yeah, as white as can be. Yeah. I did that, and I faced Nina Samuels.
Oh, she's the best.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite wrestler.
Oh, I adored working with her. We were sad because we didn't get a lot of time, and we were like, I knew she had a lot of ideas, so I was like, I'm going to let her, like, steer the ship. I'm like,
as you should.
I was like,
the best.
She's amazing. And so she was bummed out. I was like, we're still going to have a lot of fun. And it was awesome. And then, literally, like, 3 hours later, not even 3 hours later, I faced Zeta Steel at Texas Wrestling Cartel. And that was pretty fun because that was kind of like the aftermath of the ID show. So she came out, you know, she's hitting her pose, and I hit her from behind, and the match starts off like that. And it was so much fun because we brawled around a little bit, and I never do this type of stuff. Like this, like that match, and then my match against JP Harlow, like those are the 2 matches that are like complete opposites.
Which, by the way, that match, if you haven't seen it, is on our Mission Pro page.
Tomorrow's going to be the 1-year anniversary.
Hottest fucking thing ever. Like, I miss JP, by the way.
I know. I
always keeps me hard. He was here?
Yeah, he was on Cartel.
Oh my god, motherfucker!
I know. I was shocked. I know.
No,
they timed you.
I'm low key. I'm low key mad, but yeah, like JP have helped us so much with the girls on Mission Pro.
He was incredible. That's why I wanted to face him, because he made everybody look good, and I was like, there was one wrestler he faced, and I was like, if he made them look good, I was like, I'm gonna look insane. But no, he was excellent to work with. But yeah, no, I faced Zeta Steel. That was also fun. And my matches, they were simple. I was like, let's keep them simple. I was like, we all have a lot of matches this week. I was like, let's still like put some effort in, obviously. But I was like, let's keep it simple. Like, tell a great story, and every single match did that. Like, my first match, the whole story was, you know, if I won, I was in the tournament, so I'm gonna try to go for the pin every chance I get. That's what we did. And then with the finish, like, Swipe Right, and like, you know, they came out. It was perfect. Nina Samuels, like, her whole thing is, she wants to make me cry. And, like, you know, she was like, that's what she did. Like, she was like, oh, we want to see you cry. And, like, she was talking to my parents and stuff. And in Zeta, it was just kind of like the rage and fury of me and, like, you know, wanting something my entire life and being a WWE ID champion and, like, her basically stealing that moment away from me and, like, just feeling that wrath. Like, it was just so much fun. And, like, honestly, like, I'm so proud of these 3 matches. Like, obviously, there's stuff like I have to work on. I always do. But I'm so proud of them. And I was like, after my Zeta match, I was like, man, we did it. Because this is the most amount of matches I've had. And I know, like, Zeta had a lot more matches than me. Like, people have a lot of matches Mania week. But I was, like, so proud of myself. Because I was like, we did it. I was like, it was such a rewarding feeling afterwards. And I went out to dinner afterwards. And I literally ate everything on the menu.
Lucky her. Lucky her that she got to eat everything on the menu. Yeah, it's like WrestleCon weekends and like WrestleMania weeks are very important. Not only for the people that are performing on WrestleMania, but also everybody else that is in the outskirts and the independent scene. Because there's an opportunity for all of us to show up and show off, right?
No, literally.
So now that you are 17, that you, you know, crazy in love with life.
Okay.
Why do you? I know that you said that you wanted to be a WWE ID. Like, what are the things? What are the goals that you're working on in the rest of 2025?
Honestly, it's just getting signed and like, I don't want to come like say this and it's like an unrealistic goal because I know like this type of stuff. Like this goal takes time, but becoming the face of a company wherever I end up, and that's really important for me because like. You know, I was actually talking about this today with my parents. Like, I think, like, I don't want to get there and just be like, oh, this is it. Like, I'm complacent. I made it. Like, I'm signed. Like, I got the check. Like, awesome. Like, I don't want that to happen to me. Like, I want to keep on going and to ultimately become the face of the company. Like, I don't want to be in love with the idea of the lifestyle of, you know, going to... And when I say this doesn't mean like, oh, this is where I want to end up. Definitely. Like, you know, waking up and going to train at the PC and like, oh, I get to go to WWE World and I'm signing there. And like, you know, I don't want to be in love with that idea. I just want to like fully be engrossed in it and to like grow with it. And when I say that, I just like, wherever I end up, I just want to grow that brand and help the people around me grow. And I also want to learn from the people around me and ultimately elevate women's wrestling, professional wrestling, and just the entire industry as a whole. That's really important for me. But I'm not, like, there's nowhere that I'm, like, set on. And I know, like, the dream for me has always been WWE. And it will always be that because it's kind of written in my story, you know, with my past, with being Bailey and everything. But... you know, there's options, which is really cool, and this is where, like, the fun starts, and, like, these are good issues to have, obviously. Like, I went to TNA in February when they were at Full Sail, and I was like, I really like the locker room. Like, I can see me, like, fitting in, and, like, there's really nobody like me on that roster, and I'm like, they have great talent, they have a great fan base, like, and all the girls there were, like, absolutely wonderful to, like, talk with and to meet. And so I was like, that's a place. Obviously, AEW, like, I know recently, like, I had some, like, little back and forth with Mercedes. So, like, there's that option for a match. And then, like, going back to WWE, like, there's that written story. And, like, that's been the lifelong dream. And I'm, like, I really am keeping my options open. I have an amazing team, which they're looking out for me. They're looking at all options. They're, like... really like diving deep into everything, so I'm really lucky to have them so that I can kind of like, you know, keep doing my part, which is training and working out and like doing all that, you know, social media stuff. Like that's where like it really, and like for me this is the final push. So like WrestleMania week, when I got the call about ID, I was like, okay, we're gonna make this as big as possible. So I did like 50 promos for that, obviously, as people saw. Same with like turning 18, I just filmed some like really awesome videos with some of my friends, Josiah Williams, which I don't know, by the time this drops, they probably are already out.
Yeah.
But no, I like that's really important to me, like hyping that up. And I actually got that idea from Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Because he was like, you should do a video that's like, I have this dream and like, I want to get signed at 18. I was like, I really like that. And I knew I wanted to do something like that, but like he kind of like really like engraved the idea in me, and I was like, let's do it.
Do you think if I ask Joe Hendry if I do a video, what would he say that I should do?
Why? What?
You know, because I said his name 3 times and he didn't appear. So
And
you're
where is
bullshit,
he?
Joe Henry.
I
I'm
saw
calling
him
you out,
today.
fool. Come to my taco vlog. Maybe you get to taste some ThunderRosa taco. I mean, I don't know. Sorry. I got sidetracked. Anyways, no. This is.
You need to tell me this all.
I'll tell you. Because I have a funny story about Joe. Shout out to Joe Henry. I believe in you.
No, whoa, what was that? That was gonna turn into...
No. I'll tell you later. But
Please.
that is pretty amazing. And my follow-up question,
Uh-oh.
which is, I'm gonna put you on the spot right here.
Oh, Jesus, here we go.
This is amazing. You have a very vivid view and perspective of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you are not the face of the country? How are you planning to, like, not let that bring you down?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely thought of that. Like, okay, like, what if I'm just kind of like... What's the term? I don't have, like, a good term. But just, like... I'm trying to think of, like, a sports term I can use. But just, like, a solid, like, player to have on the team. And I'm okay with that. Like, but for me, like, I want to be the face of the company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I don't want to say, like, oh, that's all. And if I'm not that, then I don't want to be, like, a part of that. You know, like, it's just whatever that company sees for me and what they want from me.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, this is a business. And I have to listen to my higher ups. I can't, you know, say, like, oh, they want me to say this, then I'm not going to say that. Like, that's not how this works. Like, this is a business. Like, I have to be professional. But for me, like, ultimately, like, I do want to be the face of a company somehow, in some way. And if it does take a couple years, I'm okay with that. And, like, if, you know, let's say I don't ever end up like that, then I'm okay with that. And I'm very proud of my journey. But I don't know for certain, like, what my journey looks like years and years and years down the line. Like, I can't predict that. But if it doesn't happen, then okay. And, like, now I can be like, man, I'm proud of the work I've put in because I know I've put in a lot of work. And, you know, I think if I, you know, continue to put in this type of work, like, I really do believe, like, hard work overtakes everything. And, like, I think it can lead to really beautiful things. And, like, I look at this week, like, I really, like, after everything I've been through, like, for the past year, and I think you know it more so, like, hard work really does, like, trump everything. And, like, I'm just so proud of, like, you know, how much I've been through a lot, like, in 2024. And I was, like, I'm being honest, I did not think I was going to make it. I did not think I was going to survive any of it. I'm just, like, being in wrestling in general, like, I said to my parents, I was like, I was not supposed to survive any of this. I think a lot of people would have flaked out if they've been through the stuff I've been through, if they've heard the stuff that I've been told, like, a lot of that, like, I was not supposed to be here. And I'm not saying this is the final destination, I still have a lot more to go, but, like, WrestleMania week, being on an ID show, getting to wrestle a bunch of times, having fans come up to me, doing this with you, like, it doesn't get better than that. And I'm just so proud of, like, everything. And, like, I just wanted this week to just be a celebration, like, a culmination of, like, everything. And just to be surrounded by people I love. And that's what this is, so.
I want to cry now.
No, not in the taco vlog. Oh my god.
I'm crying inside because, like, it touched me. She's 17.
No, it's
17. Like, just imagine, 17. You have, it's about to be 18, but just imagine that your daughter is so determined. And since she's a little girl, and you have to be the parent that, instead of, like, crushing your dreams, like, supports you and celebrates you and your excellence as a person, as a child, and, like, encourages you to do the best, and then you just, like, turn out to be like this and you never give up. Like, it's fucking amazing. And I want you guys, if I have any young watchers or listeners, subscribers, like, just see her as an example of someone who has been through it all. She's been through the ringer. People have told her she doesn't belong to this business, and I feel like I can relate with you in that 100%. Oh, yeah. I mean, I was 28 when I started, but I was not supposed to be here either, you know? And, like, when you say that this week for you was, like, a celebration of, like, things that you've done, like, I feel like, in a way, for me, it was the same, because I can tell you the first time that I came to Vegas, I was staying at the Motel 6, and now I'm at the Wynn.
Which is
fucking
beautiful.
bomb.
It is.
And And like I got to meet like
Sorry.
she's hungry. And you know, you just get to meet so many wonderful individuals and other very strong women that you know help you be there. So again, you never know what life is gonna take you, but the important part is here, which is something that I always admire about you, is your grit and determination and your hard work, because that you can't teach that.
I think I've gotten it from my parents, honestly, because I've seen them really bust their butts. And honestly, like, I don't think a lot of this would be possible without them. Like, my parents, and I know the conception, like, oh, my parents are pushing me to do this, or, I don't know, like, my parents, they want the fame for themselves. And I think a lot of people don't understand, like, the idea of parents who just love me so much, and my parents would do freaking anything for me, and I know we've seen that publicly, and I'm okay with that, because I don't care what my parents say publicly. I just know that they love me, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Like, my parents love me, like, I'm their everything, and like, the last thing they want to see is get me hurt, and if somebody's going to say something to me, then they're going to be like, yo.
Oh yeah, because especially because you're a child, and I feel like a lot of you know, some of the crazy things that happened in the past, you know, it was because you were a child and people are like talking about you like you were an adult, right? And of course, if you're a father, father or mother, you will defend your kid with your teeth. But again, I think they have grown, and matured just with you.
My life.
Yay!
You have one? I have one thing.
They have grown with you, and I feel that now they have allowed you to be you.
Yes.
And they have stepped out tremendously. They are here, they're driving you, they're like flying with you because they want to make sure that you are okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best thing to do, because I don't see you smoking, I don't see you drinking, I don't see you getting stupid yet. But and that's very important, because that will deter you from a lot of your personal goals that you have right now.
No, my parents are super, and especially recently, there's, you know, I'm growing up. And so, you know, my life is looking a little bit differently, you know, with how I handle business, or, you know, how I spend my free time, or, you know, even like my relationships. Like, life is looking differently. And like, I've been so nervous to like talk about this stuff with my parents. So I'm like, I just like I'm like, I know they're not going to say like, no, like you can't like do anything. But I'm like, this is scary. Like, and my parents are like, all I've ever known. Like, it's always just been like me and my parents. Like, it's never been anybody else. And like, as I get older, I'm like, okay, like I want another person to climb this mountain with. And like I said this earlier today, and it's like, and I don't know, like I just like, I appreciate my parents for like kind of like letting me like kind of spread my wings a little bit. And it's just like, you know, and also at the same time, like I deal with a lot of guilt when it comes to my parents, because as you know, I moved to Texas for a little bit.
Certain time,
Yes, and that meant my parents also had to move with me, and my dad's a teacher, and so he moved with me. We got an apartment. My mom stayed with us for a little bit, and my mom came back to Florida because we didn't want to like get rid of our house. And so, you know, I was in Texas for a little bit, and I decided to move back because I realized it was not the place for me. And that also meant my dad couldn't come back because he still has to finish out his teacher contract. Because in Texas, if you decide to leave early, they suspend your teaching license.
Wow.
I know.
Go
Texas. Cool. Texas has really done a number on us. But, and it's been hard because, like, physically, like, my parents are apart, and it's, like, hard to see that. But, like, last night we all went out to dinner, and I was, like, so emotional watching them. Because they just, like, I love seeing them together, and it's, like, you know, they can just pick up the ball right where they left off, and, like, it's perfect. And, like, their love is so beautiful, and I'm like, I hope I find like a fraction of that one day. And it's like, I don't know, like I'm so lucky to have them, and they're absolutely incredible. Just like the stuff they've done for me, like the sacrifice, like financially, like, you know, all of that. It's like, it's a lot, and I'm just like, I don't know, like what I would do without them. And like, I am super lucky because I know not everybody has these type of parents, and like, you know, it makes me sad, and then like really put stuff into perspective for me. I'm like, wow, I'm like, I have insane parents who like love me to death, and I'm like, I don't know what I would do without them.
I don't even think that you would have been able to do it on your own. No, because they play a key part on your success.
Yeah.
And again, for all those parents that are listening to this and watching this, keep doing what you're doing. You know,
Yes.
don't let people tell you that you're doing too much for your kid.
Mm-mm.
Believe me, when your kid turns out to be like this, they will take care of you financially. So
Gotcha, Mom.
don't be a
Dad.
dick.
I can't wait to buy them a house one day.
Yeah, it's not. I'm serious. Like it's a sacrifice that we decide to do, and like, that's pretty awesome. Like honestly,
I call it loving loudly, and that's what my parents do. They love me very loudly. Now I don't mean like actually loud, but like they love me a lot, and they're not afraid to show it. And I know that makes people uncomfortable, and like I've had to explain to people, like, listen, like my parents really like they adore me, and I'm like, if anything happens to me, like they're gonna like
freak
you know,
out.
the claws are coming out, like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like, you know, that's what I call it, loving loudly.
You're the only child, right?
I am an only child. So that, and then that also makes sense for a lot of people. Like,
yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Where do you see me going once I turn 18? Like, where, like, what's like? How do you see all of this going?
She's gonna go to Mexico and get fucked up. You know, it's the first thing that she's gonna do, or
Oh my
Europe,
God.
because you can drink at 18. Then you're gonna dump whoever you're talking to, and you're just gonna be single for life, and then just keep going and going and going. No, just kidding. I don't know. Honestly, like, I mean, I see you getting signed. I see you getting signed somewhere, and then I am.
But where?
I don't know. That's the thing.
She doesn't know.
Because things are changing so quickly.
I know. It's yeah. But what's so fun is like any little news that's like related to like a company.
Yes.
Like I'm like, okay, this kind of affects me, not in a bad way, and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm not getting signed, but it's like I should consider this. Like, you know what I mean?
I think because of how much you have worked and you know your worth, and some people like can't stand that because they want to take all the credit of all the work that you've done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People that want you are gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, and they're gonna pay whatever price tag it comes with it. You know, and whoever's gonna hate on it is gonna hate on it. You have worked your ass off.
Thank you.
To be where you are for the opportunity you have, like I put on the tweet. I don't tweet about a lot of people, you know. And you are one of those that I will do that, and I will put my name on it. Why? Because you have a work ethic that I haven't seen in a long, long time.
Thank you.
You know, and even the way that you talk. Let me tell you, I interviewed a lot of people, and some of the stuff that come out from their mouth that are 34, 40 years old.
It's like, what?
It does not sound like you. You have a clear path in your way, and it doesn't matter what I see yourself in 2 months, 5 months, 5 years. I know you're going to be successful at what you put yourself, like you put your mind into it, because you've done it. From influencing, from being a fan to being an influencer to being a student in high school, now a college student, and now in the near future to be like a signed full-time professional wrestler. You know, I know that you are gonna do it.
Thank you.
But there's definitely some places in where you will thrive more than others because of the structure.
Mm-hmm.
So I have full faith in you, and you know this, and I've told you this from the get-go. And I know I mentioned Brian a lot because he was like madly like pushing for you for Mission Pro to make you a champion and to do that. And I was like, yeah, we need to make her a champion like now. And I know that was the right move because of the story that you have and what you brought and what you bring to the business, because you bring a lot of kids. Kids love you. They freaking adore
I don't know.
you.
There's something about me. Like I think I always say it's the gear. It's the gear that's like ooh. But no, I think for me. Well, first off, thank you for saying that. Like I really appreciate it. But like I think for me, like I have a very kid mentality where like my personality is very like
You're still 17.
yeah, I am still 17, but like you know, I guess kids just connect with that. I don't know, or it's the friendship bracelets. I don't know.
It's both.
It's I always say I'm
It's
like
the colorful gear.
I think I always say I'm like the witch from Hansel and Gretel. I like lure kids with my little
Bracelets. And the kids love you.
They're yeah.
My friend, has she still talked to you? Did they move to Germany?
Yes, because I trained with her grandfather Jason, and then they
210 Strong, so I can subscribe or go to their gym.
Yes.
It's in San Antonio, Texas.
Please, they're amazing. Best gym I've been to. But the mom messaged me recently because she like congratulated me. She was like, "We miss you. We're so proud." Yeah, and I was like, I miss you guys. I like they're like one of like my favorites. Like every fan I get to meet, I love, but like they've been like really like special in my life.
Haley's daughter used to come and like she used to get in fights with me because when I was like going crying. Like she was crying, like tears, like it was like the cutest thing ever. Yeah. Yes, it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. And then that girl is so strong because just like you were mentioning to me off the record, this is when you grew up, like you had braces and she like, remember like little girl had braces too?
Because I had scoliosis, so I had to wear back brace. And so I would have to wear like a day and night one. And then Aiden has legs or braces on her.
Because she was born with a leg dysmorphia. Like it was like all like, she had to have like 7 surgeries to actually keep her to actually be
able to walk.
So she learned how to walk. She learned how to run. She's a very, very strong willed
You should have seen her because there was one day I was at the gym and they were doing like a kids competition or getting ready for one, and Jason was like, "I want to try like this with you." Like he was just like test running like what exercises the kids could do. Dude, she was like picking up stuff and like throwing it. I was like.
Well, she's because she grew up with fighters. Like her whole entire life, she's like her mom used to train. Yeah. Her dad trains. I met her when she was when I met her when she was a baby, and Aiden was just like sitting in her stroller, and I seen her grow. Now she's in Germany, and it was beautiful to see her come with Jason and her his wife and children, the kids. But it's like a lot of the times, a lot of the things that we do is for the kids or like the families. Like they bring them together. So that was really
so
sweet.
Heartbroken about Mission.
Yeah,
I didn't care about getting a match every other month and a title match. It was literally I remember I was crying, I was sobbing in the car and I was like, oh my god, I was like, what about the kids? I was like, oh my god, because a lot of them I would only see at Mission. So it was like our little reunion. And for me specifically, and this is where I'm a very dramatic person, and I don't think this is so dramatic. I am, we know I am. I don't think this is super dramatic, but for me, I was like, you never know what these kids go through in life, and I always thought Mission for some of them could be their one night they get to be a kid, and so I was like, and I don't want to say this, and you're like, oh my gosh, but I feel like that was taken away from them when Mission closed, and I was like, when am I gonna see these kids again? And I'm I like to think I was their safe person, and I was kind of I was their BFF, you know what I mean? And I felt really, I feel really guilty that I left Texas because a lot of them don't. I only feel guilty. I don't feel guilty about other stuff. I feel guilty about my parents and the kids specifically because they would come to my shows and now I'm not there and they don't get to see.
But you know what? It's a good memory and those kids. Believe me, I have kids that I met when they were
and they still
6, 7. Now they're quinceañera. They got married. It's you'll see that.
That's terrible.
But then they invite you to their weddings. They invite you to quinceañera. No, I'm serious. It's crazy. But you become an example, a positive example for them, and they will follow you. Yeah. Wherever you go on social media, whatever, and it's one of the most beautiful things.
One of them came to Vegas.
Oh, nice.
She used to come to Mission shows. Her family had the custom Izzy shirt.
Yes.
Elizabeth. Yeah, she came. They were coming for Mania anyways, but they came to my show yesterday, and I was like, I'm seeing you in Vegas.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that's what's so important for me is my fan base is I have that locked down.
Izzy maniacs.
It literally, or my BFFs. That was so important. Is creating such having such a bond with my fan base, and I've been building it for years. It didn't just happen overnight. I've been building it because people have been on my journey for such a long time, and it's and they're invested, which I'm so grateful for. But it's I want to touch lives, and I feel like I did that, and I'm still doing that. But I feel like I am with especially the kids and I want to connect with people, dude. I'm not the type of wrestler that's the fans. I love the fans. Yes, they're paying to see me, but it's I don't even care about that. I'm just I'm happy I get to meet you and hug you and give you a bracelet.
Because you were a fan.
Because I was a fan, and I know what it's like to have bad experiences, and you're so excited to meet a wrestler, and you're what? You're just confused, and I'm I've had my own media training in some way. It's so weird.
I experienced that this morning.
Oh.
Yeah. I was okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, I'm just gonna fuck off to the side. Izzy, just to wrap things up, what is one thing you want to leave the Thunder Army, a message that you want to give to the Thunder Army?
Let's see. I'm trying to think because I've learned a lot of. Let me move this. I can't.
You just keep eating the shit.
I know. I'm just eating chips and chips and chips. Okay. God, my parents and my coaches are gonna make fun of me. They're calling me Big Back. Let me think because I've learned a lot of lessons recently. I like this one. I'm gonna choose this one. I have a little in my head. You don't have to forgive to forget.
Mm-hmm.
That is something that's been very important for me recently because I've had a lot of people do me wrong recently, and it's been hard because I feel like I was sold a dream that I'm gonna make it to the next level and I'm gonna make it to where I need to be. And I trusted people and I changed my whole life. And now I'm in a place, a much better place, but I'm still dealing with the aftermath of it. And I say that financially. And, my parents, they're still apart physically. Mm-hmm. My dad's in Texas, my mom is in Florida, and our family is apart. And so for me, I've had a lot of resentment towards, people in this industry because I was sold this dream and I was like, oh, this is going to get me to the next level. And it just didn't. And, I tried to forget about it. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to move on and whatever. That's not really how it works for me, at least. And that's something that's really been big for me. I'm trying to think what else.
Now I feel guilty for closing Mission Pro Wrestling. Shit.
Wait, what?
Now I feel guilty for closing Mission Pro Wrestling.
You.
I was like, damn. Shit. Sorry.
Not you. No, this isn't on you. No.
I send you a couple $1,000s.
No, not on you. It's just and I've learned that throughout the years, not just recently. I've had so many people seriously hurt me, and it's it was so hard when it came from people that I was like, oh, I really look up to this person, or
mm-hmm.
they're one of my few favorite wrestlers, and it's I try to forget about it and move on and just pretend it didn't happen, but we have, and this is another thing I really want people to listen, but we have these scars to show what we've been through, and it's something we should be proud of. And so that's something I've reflected on, especially this week. It was a dogfight to get here this year because of everything that happened in 2024 for me. But I look at those cars and I'm I'm proud of myself because all the times I would drive home from practice defeated, now I'm here and I've never been happier. I still have my parents in my life. I have amazing people around me. I am just, my friends. I have other people in my life that I'm I absolutely adore. And I'm happy, and all the hard work that I've put into this dream, it's finally paying off. And by all means, it doesn't stop, but it's man, I get to watch it all unfold, and it's really awesome. And it's just, like I said, this week has been a culmination of everything. And I look back on all my scars and I'm I'm proud of it. In the words of Taylor Swift, while you're, what's the words? You're throwing, it's something about while you were throwing rocks, I was building something out of those
mm-hmm. rocks.
And I'm basically, this is an exact lyric, but I'm building a legacy that they can't undo. Mm-hmm. And those people who have tried to undo it, they still can't. And I'm okay that they're going to try their darndest to do it. But I have such a great circle. I have you, I have my parents, I have my friends, I have other people. But
that other people is been mentioned a couple times now.
And I'm happy, and it feels good to say that because honestly, I have not felt this way in a hot minute, and it's fun to feel like this again, and I'm so grateful for all of this.
Well, I'm glad that you're feeling that way, but I also, in a weird way, you should be very thankful that 2024 was that, proving ground kind of year, because that year will prepare you
for anything else.
For the storm that is gonna come when you are on your way to climb to the top.
Yeah.
Because if you think that the hate is real right now, it's
gonna get 10 times worse.
Yes, but you're already ready.
Yeah, and that's the other part I'm like so grateful for. I'm like, okay, not that I know people have been through worse. Like,
No, it's not even that. It's like everything that has been put through in front of you, or like any obstacles or anything, is to prepare you for greatness.
Yeah,
because you're already great, but you're about to achieve greatness in the next couple months, next couple years.
Ooh,
so you will be ready mentally, and I can see that you have done a lot of like mental and spiritual work with yourself, and you're, like I said, you're very, very young. And people your age right now would have thrown themselves to get high, get drunk, and do some stupid shit because you're young.
Yeah.
But you have a very, very, very clear path of where you want to go and where you want to take your life, which is, I feel like for a lot of young people, that's something that has been missing or is missing.
Is that, I agree.
Is that, and you're doing it, and I'm very proud of you. I always tell you that.
Thank you.
And, I will have to say, sometimes we make decisions in life that, they're not the best, but they were meant to make us better.
Yes.
And stronger. So don't feel bad about it.
No, and that's honestly what I'm learning too is like, so I said to my dad, I was like, man, I'm like, I was sold this dream, and like, I feel like, I was like ranting to him, and he was like, we chose this. He was like, we made this decision. And he was like, and we're going to have to live with this. He was like, he always uses a football analogy, but he was like, we called this play. He was like, we're already downfield. He's like, it's the fourth quarter. Like, we ain't looking at the second quarter. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. And that's something I've also been learning along the way is like, this is a Ted Lasso line, but have the mind of a goldfish. Like, and goldfish have short-term memory. And that's how you kind of have to think is like, that already happened. We're already moving on. Like, the sun will come up tomorrow. Like, and going back to the football analogy, like, first quarter happened. We're in the fourth quarter. Like, we're not looking back all the mistakes we made in the first quarter. We're looking to win the game. And that's what me and my family, but more so I've been trying to do. Like, yeah, I've made some boneheaded decisions in 2024. My stomach.
She ate a lot of chips.
All the chips. Oh, they're having a party. I made some boneheaded decisions in 2024, and I look back at that and I'm like, what was I thinking? But then then I look at, and I keep on going back to this week, but I just look at everything that's happening right now in my life, and I'm like it led to like really cool things, and like, and honestly, it's funny because like moving to Texas, I got introduced to a lot of like important people in my life. One of them being my current coach, Ace Steele. Like, if I was never there, I wouldn't have met him, and I wouldn't be at such an incredible school, the Foundation of Professional Wrestling. And I'm also at Fighting Spirit.
Oh wow!
Ran by Pete Dunne and the Grizzly Young Veterans, which is an incredible school. Both schools have amazing people there, and I'm very lucky to be training with them. But yeah, no, like, I look back at, like, stuff that's happened in my life, and I'm like, if this didn't happen, then this beautiful thing that's happening right now wouldn't be possible.
Well, I was just going to tell you that, like, from all that, sometimes for those, like, negative, or not negative, like, those life lessons that you go through in your journey, like, there's hope, right?
Yes.
And that's where you are right now, and it didn't kill you. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Right?
Oh, I love that song. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly. So, but you're here, and I'll put it like this: life is like a taco.
Life is like a taco.
You use the tortilla, and you decide to put some really wet picadillo in it, and then you put a bunch of stuff, and then the tortilla breaks. Oof! But guess what you do? You grab the rest of the tortilla, and you grab it, and you eat it. So from that mess, you created something more delicious because it's like moist and it's juicy and it's delicious.
What?
Yeah, life is messy. We think sometimes we make the right choices by picking picadillo with a lot of sauce.
Why do you say that?
And then our tortilla breaks.
Picadillo?
Picadillo is like ground beef with like other stuff. Picadillo.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or like shredded beef, and it's just juicy and I always see it like that. I was just like it's like really like a taco. Like it's the tortilla is the steady thing, and then you start adding things to it, right?
It gets
yeah. And sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you add this fucking hot ass sauce,
and you're like,
and you get burned. But then what do you learn next? Not to eat that hot sauce. That you can have this taco.
Another thing.
Yes.
See, now it's all coming to me.
Yes.
Do not try to paint a red flag green. And I'm not talking about like relationships. I'm talking about with just people in general and situations.
Yes.
That's something recently, my gosh, I have like really instilled in my life. Do not try to make a red flag green. I am telling you people. No, wait.
No, wait.
This cannot come green. If I pour this in this will not become green. I'm a very visual learner. If I take this green sauce and I pour it in the red sauce, it will not become green. I don't. Maybe.
No, it's not. No. Well, she's gonna try. But again, guys.
Keep talking.
Again, thank you so much for being in the vlog. We really enjoy you. I really she's like cursing and making a mess.
Is this gross?
Again, it's not gross. It's not green. I mean, it's turning. No, it's turning. No, it's not green.
This is disgusting.
It's not. It's not green.
It's not green.
It's not,
doesn't look green to me.
but again, you are an example of someone who has worked tirelessly your whole life, like literally your whole little life.
I'm a very mature person, but I can't.
Yeah, she's making.
I'm making a mess.
She's still doing that like a child, but it's okay.
Yeah, I still can't fold my clothes.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm very proud that you were part of Mission Pro and that you still are champion and you.
Thank you for
representing
having me a part of that. Because and it is I just like I appreciate you because you're one of the very few people that have had such a big impact on my life, especially professionally.
Because I see greatness. I fucking hate when people don't see what. It's like this is the thing, and you're gonna like deal with it a lot of times. Mm-hmm. You know your worth. You know that you're good. You know what you can bring to the table. Mm-hmm. But when people are too fucking blind to see what you see,
difficult.
It's so difficult. But when you have those 2 or 3 people that say, "Give me a chance. I got something for you."
Yeah,
and they fucking come and like come through.
You were one of the few people that saw that in me, and I will forever be grateful because like. You didn't need me, like you could have said like, oh, we just want you like a part of mission. Like, no, you could have had me mid-carding, but you said no. You saw something in me.
You see, like, you know how many kids you brought to the show. You know how much money you made in Mission Pro Wrestling for us to keep running the show for like as long as we could when you were there. Mm-hmm. It was a lot. Yeah, and that's what people don't understand. When you're a wrestler. And you want to get paid, you better sell tickets because that's how you get paid in the independent scene. Because we don't have big money marks. No. We don't. This is money that was coming out of my pocket and out of the sponsors' pockets. Mm-hmm. And you help us keep the doors open.
I try. I try my best.
No, you try your best. But again, it's like you work tirelessly. Like every time I need a promo, guess what? There was 5 promos coming in. Every time I needed somebody to go and do like PR work for the Salvation Army or for like whatever, you were there. Yeah. You're consistent. You know what you want. You know what you're doing. Not only is going to help the other people, but it's also going to help you. Yeah. And if you guys cannot see that in her, that's on you. This is greatness right here at 17 years old. Stop. She believes in herself. And if you have a problem with that, well, put some hot sauce on your taco. And I hope you get burned. Yeah.
That's a good way to end it.
I said it. Well, thank you again for being in the taco vlog.
It was disgusting.
It was amazing.
It was really good.
Didn't have to ask you any questions because you're very good at talking. So
thank you. I yap a lot. I'm sorry, guys.
Those are the best interviews, and it was a pleasure to work with you.
It was an honor to be on the show.
To see you develop to be the. I always think about the Britney Spears song. Not a girl, not yet a woman, because that's who you are. Right now, when I see your videos, I'm like, she's still a girl, but she's not a woman yet.
I'm in this weird phase. 2 more weeks, guys. 2 more.
God. Stay up for DMs. This was ThunderRosa on the Taco Vlog. This was Izzy Moreno. Where's your social media, Izzy?
It's Izzy Mania on X and Instagram.
YouTube. You don't have YouTube anymore?
No.
No, she got rid of that. But with ThunderRosa at ThunderRosa22, make sure you follow, subscribe, and like. Make sure you freaking tell all your friends about the YouTube. We're super close to hit. Maybe by the time this comes out, we will be hitting 100,000 followers. Yeah, we're trying to get that plate. But again, the message I always have: remember, eat a good taco, and not everybody is your best friend. Thank you very much. See you next time.
That was so much fun. Oh my God.